This year, U.S. food retailers will sell billions of pounds of U.S. grown potatoes. What are consumers looking for when it comes to potatoes? And how can you encourage them to buy more? It's time to raise your marketing game. Let's go learn how. Today, I'm visiting the produce department at Rosar's Supermarket. This store has a thriving produce department, and potatoes are one of their best sellers. John Barton, the produce manager, has agreed to show us what keeps his potato sales humming. Joining him is also Jen Campuzano, a potato category marketing expert from Nielsen Perishables Group. So John, tell us, what's your secret to selling so many potatoes?
There's really no secret. We just follow the U.S. Potato Board's best practices.
Okay, so the U.S. Potato Board's best practices.
Yes.
So what are some of those best practices?
Sure. So the Potato Board has worked with retailers and suppliers across the U.S. to identify a set of strategies that we can use across the board at retail and then create benchmarks to continue those strategies from retailer to retailer. There are 7 proven best practices, the first one being assortment. The potato category should carry a year-round assortment of all potato types, including things like specialties and fingerlings, so that you can have that full assortment for consumers.
So how can the associates apply this best practice?
Well, the associates should be aware of all the types of varieties on hand. And the showcase should display all the different types of potatoes.
So the second best practice in the toolkit is promotion. Potatoes are pretty good sellers throughout the year, but peak sales are from November through January. Outside of that time frame, we typically promote potatoes every other week, include multiple varieties, and bag in bulk at the same time.
So associates need to regularly check the circulars and signs.
Yeah, and they also need to know what potatoes are on special every day.
So Jen, what's the third best practice?
It's actually packaging. Packaging should always include the 3 things that consumers want most: size, type, and origin. But you can also increase sales if you include things like preparation tips, recipes, or even nutritional benefits.
So John, what should associates know about storing potatoes at home?
The best way to store the potatoes at home is leave them in the original package, either the netted bag or the paper bag. You always want to keep them in a cool, dry area, either in a cupboard or a drawer.
Okay.
What you never want to do is you never want to put them in a refrigerator or put them in an airtight container.
What's next?
Merchandising. Make sure your potato displays are just that, potatoes. Make sure that you hand stack all your potatoes to increase that perceived value as well. And put all the potatoes together in one place to make shopping easier for their customers. Finally, use secondary out-of-department displays to drive potato sales.
So I understand the next best practice is value. Tell us more about that.
Sure, so you should maintain a consistent segmented value strategy throughout the year that includes potato types and their sizes. Creating a consistent strategy is really around differentiating the segmented tiers.
So what's an associate's part in the value best practice?
Well, the first part is the signs have to be in the right place. The second part is they have to be up to date. And the third is everything's got to be clearly marked.
So Jen, we're on best practice number 6. What is that?
Sure, it's in-store communication. Customers are always looking for new ideas, so we like to provide suggestions. Things like recipe cards and in-store signage help us provide our customers with things like recipes, preparation tips, and even the great nutritional story on potatoes.
So basically, the associate is the link between our customers and the information that we have available.
Yep.
But nothing beats person-to-person communication, right?
That's true.
So last but not least.
Associate training. There are important things each associate can do to help with all of the best practices.
So properly trained associates can have a huge impact on potato sales. So tell me, John, how can an associate help you sell more potatoes?
We need to educate them on the different types and varieties of potatoes and how to cook them. That's why we implement the 5-foot rule here in the produce department.
The 5-foot rule, what's that?
The 5-foot rule is basically if a customer approaches within 5 feet, then we ask them if they need assistance in what they're looking for. And we usually lead with open-ended questions.
So does the department have any tools that associates can use to answer questions or help come up with cooking ideas?
We do. We offer information in the display, and we also offer recipe cards.
So besides product and recipe information, what other information can associates offer customers to increase potato sales?
Sure, so we know customers are always looking to eat healthier and feel good about what they feed their families. So we look at every opportunity to speak to a customer about educating them about the nutritional benefits of potatoes. So we always include at least one nutritional benefit in every conversation.
So how else can associates affect potato sales?
Well, most people shop with their eyes, so a little extra time spent on the display helps promote potato sales.
You know, an organized potato display also allows customers to more easily find the types of potatoes they're looking for. It makes shopping in the store more convenient.
And associates should continue to manage the table so that the table looks nice all day long.
It looks like your marketing strategy is working.
That's right.
Well, great advice, guys. Thanks for sharing your knowledge with us today.
You bet.
Absolutely, you're more than welcome.
Now let's review what we've learned about marketing U.S. potatoes. To help sell more potatoes, follow the U.S. Potato Board's best practices in potato assortment, promotion, packaging, value, merchandising, in-store communication, and associate training. As an associate, you have the most influence over merchandising and in-store communication. Always practice the 5-foot rule. When a shopper comes within 5 feet of you in the potato aisle, warmly greet them and ask them open-ended questions so that you can help them find the right potato, as well as suggest new types and varieties that they might enjoy. Always try to mention at least one great potato nutrition fact. Remember, people shop with their eyes first, so it's important to make your potato display as visually appealing as possible. Now that you've learned how to help sell more potatoes, it's that time. Let's take a short quiz to see what you learned in this last step to complete your certification. Click on the link below that says Potato Marketing Quiz to get started.